Well, Bards,
Grant.
miracles have happened tonight.
What's that, mate? Queensland winning it again?
That was last night, Bards.
Oh, of course it was.
Not quite familiar with the whole production of this, are you? We record tonight, it goes up tomorrow night. We're trying to con people into thinking it's
Talk
live.
about the game and conveniently forget that there's been major selection changes, so it doesn't really matter.
No, I'm talking about the fact that this man is live in the studio.
Studio! This is a spare room in your house. It's full of shit.
Like tote bags.
Our listeners, all 12 of them, could see this.
It's professional.
If you lit a match, mate, the place would go up.
Hey, Steve Jobs started in the garage. It was good enough for him.
All right, well, Bards, straight into the game.
All right, mate. Hawthorn 19-10 at 124 defeating Port Adelaide 12-7 79.
And the goal kickers?
Gunstall with 5, Roughhead with 5, 3 to Smith, 3 to Savage, and singles to Rioli, Hodge, and Lewis.
Now, Adam, you're attracted by that nice paperweight there, but what attracted you to the game last week against Port Adelaide?
Sorry, just the shit in this studio. Yeah, interesting game of football. Port Adelaide, a pretty good football team, but Hawthorn got them under control early, and what I think is a reality that we're all going to have to live with is watching this side, potentially without Buddy Franklin going forward, and they do a very good job. Brownlow medalist Sam Mitchell had a quiet game, but it didn't really matter in the greater scheme of things.
Well, Bards, who did you think the 5 best were?
My 5 best, 5 votes to Isaac Smith, his best game for the Hawthorn Footy Club by a mile. 4 to Roughhead, just keeps getting better and better. Leading the Coleman now, he's cruising. 3 to Hodge, set the game up in the first quarter. 2 to Gunston for another 5 goals and gut running all game as well. And 1 to Savage, who's really turned his form around since he's got back into the team.
Can I say something about Shane Savage?
Go.
Has anybody ever seen a guy who kicks the ball higher in the air? Actually, watch where the trajectory of the ball of his boot. It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Brian Lake kicks it up high too.
Not like this guy.
Savage, he does get distance though.
He gets distance, but higher than Joe Cocker.
I reckon he needs to change the angle of his loft on the driver and he's kick it even further.
Potentially.
You're trying to angle for some Joe Cocker music, eh?
Have you got Joe Cocker music, or are we going to listen to more of the crap that you...
We can find Joe Cocker music.
Yeah, you're thinking a studio of this calibre. You have options?
Bards, a blast.
Great. And I have got a little blast here. I'm not happy with the Herald Sun, the Channel 9 Footy Show, and probably anyone else whose papers I don't bother to read, their votes in the Hawthorn game. They all ignored the fact that Isaac Smith was our best player on the day. 26 disposals at 73%, 8 marks, 9 tackles, 8 score involvements, and 3 goals, and they couldn't sneak him in for a vote. 137 Supercoach points. That's Gary Ablett territory, and he couldn't get a vote. Unbelievable. These blokes, they just see what they want to see. Oh, Roughhead. All right, he's playing fantastic, but give the guy some credit. He's had a ripper game and he's been ignored.
You're bagging Ruffy, are you?
I'm not bagging Ruffy. I'm bagging the blokes from the Herald Sun and Channel 9.
Well, let's see how good the umpires are at the end of the year.
I.O. Smith, 1 vote.
A whack.
No, I have no whack. I mean, I could complain about the studio, the talent. There's a lot of things I could complain about, but I choose not to. I want to be the bigger man.
Fair sucker the Sav. And on talking of fair sucker the Sav, can I have a crack? Andrew Demetriou, one of our favourites here. Not. Andrew Demetriou yesterday on whatever program that is with Gerard Whateley and that journo from the Herald Sun who's got no idea.
Robbo.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Robbo.
Yeah, righto. So Andrew Demetriou, I think he was interviewed on there from what I heard this morning, and he's saying how, Buddy Franklin, he's a bit of a traditionalist. He'd love him to play for the one team, right? No, that's the way he was brought up. Well, fair sucker the Sav, Andrew Demetriou. Why did you leave North Melbourne to come to Hawthorn if you were such a traditionalist?
To be fair, he struggled to get a game at either club in the end, didn't he?
Demetriou's the one making the rule that makes it easy for players not to be one club players. He's kidding himself.
Marketing fun.
I did see that he said that the AFL would look at an ambassador role for Buddy Franklin in Melbourne. What do you think that would be? Nike
posing for photos with Quade Cooper and James O'Connor.
Well, see, James O'Connor's leaving Melbourne.
With Buddy Franklin in tow. He could be going off to Union along with Benji Marshall.
Maybe we'll see Buddy playing league next year.
In fact, that would be one hell of a Union team, wouldn't it? Have Izzy going down one wing and Buddy down the other.
Yeah, Buddy keep tackling blokes high though.
You're allowed to.
Yeah, that's all right.
As long as the arm doesn't swing, you're up.
It's his game. Look, if we lose him anywhere, let's lose him to Union.
You get a lot more free kicks playing for GWS.
If the ball ever got there.
Fair point.
Hey, great debate. I've got a topic. And another one of our favourites here, Mickey Malthouse, one of your favourites. Remember he talked about Hawkeye? Yeah, they introduced Hawkeye middle of the year. In fact, it was just a trial. Well, I reckon we shouldn't even be considering Hawkeye as an option. Why? Chris Broad, debate.
Stuart Broad, talking about.
And his old man, he was a shit bloke too.
You talking about the bloke who opens the bed or the bloke who doesn't go out?
Look, after Brad hadn't admitted that he nicked that final ball today, I don't think one is any better than the other.
That wasn't my question.
What was
it about Hawkeye?
Hawkeye.
Why would we introduce Hawkeye to football?
Hawkeye's never going to be introduced to football. I've got a bit of time for Mick Malthouse. I like Mick Malthouse.
You after a packet of Mars bars?
I'm just saying that Mick Malthouse is good for the game.
Explain.
Well, look, the good thing about Mick Malthouse is he's not like at least a dozen other AFL coaches that get up and toe the AFL line. He actually brings something to the table, and if he's angry or pissed about something, you can actually see it, and he'll actually tell you about it. Other guys bite their tongue afraid of being fined or afraid of what the great Vlad Demetriou might say about it. Mick Malthouse calls it as he sees it, wrongly or wrongly, but he still calls it as he sees it.
What's more interesting, a Mick Malthouse press conference after a loss or a Brad Scott press conference after a loss?
Oh, they're both good fun.
Did anyone else just think of it when North were losing that game? I can't wait to see Brad Scott's press conference.
There's never been a team in the history of the game that have pissed away so many big leads over the course of a season. 4
games over 30 points, it's not good.
It's like that Booper ad. Have you heard about that Booper ad that they did a piss takeoff from the footy show? The good you, the bad me?
Yeah.
Apparently they did one on the footy show. It was Chris Scott, who was a good, healthy one, and Brad Scott. He's got to be thinking, how did he get the gig at Geelong?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was not my question. Bards. Hawkeye.
It's a good idea, this debate.
Good material, but Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, the tennis, it's used and it tracks a ball that's actually gone somewhere and it can measure it 100% accurately, which is what they're talking about it doing in footy with the goals. That's not so bad. The problem with Hawkeye comes in is for LBs in cricket where ball hits a pad and then it's got to predict where it was going to go. So if they're going to use it, I mean, I don't think they need any technology for goals in football. I'd scrap the whole lot and go with the goal umpire's decision, and probably 99 out of 100 they get right. So it's not really an issue, but I don't know, it's probably worth looking at if they're going to persist with technology of some kind.
Not if they're going to get rid of Chelsea.
Chelsea will be right.
And on that note, that was the great debate. Or not.
We've got to work.
We don't prepare.
No.
Some of this stuff you can cut into zero. We simply don't prepare.
We actually need a producer, so if anybody wants to work for free out of the state-of-the-art facilities, late at night, irregularly, without any real fixed time.
On a free recording program that only gives us 15 minutes to record.
Send all mail to Grant House.
Return to sender. Return to sender.
All right, Bards, time for From the Backline.
From the backline, Grant, and here it is. And one change this week, a change of things up. Into the side, young Will Langford, and going out, Sean Burgoyne suspended. Will, of course, son of Premiership legend Chris Langford. So, from the backline, Benjamin Stratton, Brian Lake, and Brent Guerra. The halfbacks, Luke Hodge, Josh Gibson, and Cole Cheney. The centre line is Isaac Smith, the Brownlow medalist Sam Mitchell, and Bradley Hill. The half forwards are Jack Gunstall, Jared Roughhead, and Luke Bruce. Forward line, Shane Wayne Savage, David Hale and Cyril Rioli. The interchange, Taylor Duray, William Langford, Jono Simpkin and Brendan Whitecross. Emergencies, Jonathan Segler, Angus Litherland and Brad Sewell. Again, an emergency, Grant.
They're top-class emergencies, those ones.
Well, the third one's top class. The other two have played one game between them, but it's handy if Sewell can't make your side.
Wearing pretty thin, and we're lucky it's the Western Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's done. The back line does not look like probably half what it would have been at the start of the year with Stratton, Lake and Guerra there, but definitely missing the likes of Sucklin, Birchall, Schoenmakers and these blokes. Gibson's still there as well, I guess. It's not a bad side, but there's plenty of blokes in there that probably won't be there come the end of the year.
Gentlemen, how do we win this game against the Bulldogs at Aurora Stadium on Saturday at 1:45pm? Early game again.
Oh, geez, I reckon we might struggle.
Well, there's no one playing.
For either team.
Bards?
I think, honestly, we win the game because we turn up and we're a much superior side to this mob. Brian Lake will obviously love to have a run around against his old club and show him how good he still is. Ryan Griffin might be having a look at the club that he wishes he was at with a chance of a premiership instead of running around as being 100% better than anyone else on his team. We'll win the game. Shouldn't be too hard. What do you think, Grant?
I'm ambivalent.
I may actually not even watch it.
This will be the game we drop, won't it? We don't care.
They pushed Essendon for 3.5 quarters last week, so we'll need to be playing good footy.
Yeah, agreed.
We won't need to be playing good footy. We'll just need to be playing footy.
Good footy, not great footy, good footy.
No. We beat them with 12 players.
They're going to get Boyd back and they might give Daniel Cross a game.
They're 100 years old, those blokes combined. The only interest in this game, boys, let's be dead serious, the only interest in this game is watching Ryan Griffin run around and working out how we can trade to get him into our side next year. Because the rest of them should be playing in the Ovens and Murray.
There's no one else you'd actually go for?
Well, we know what we're going to get with our blokes. You know, this Bulldogs side, they are a bush football team.
Well, on that basis, Bards has got us winning by 20 goals. Adam, how many?
That's conservative. Take a risk, Bards, won't I?
Adam.
167 points.
You know Burgoyne's not playing.
Oh, yeah, that'll make a big difference. He's barely got a kick for a month and a half, Sean Burgoyne. You know, the rest might do it good.
Teach him a lesson, you reckon?
Yeah, teach him a lesson.
Is there any chance that we could trade a packet of Just for Men hair colours for GS Syracusa and take Griffin off their hands in exchange? He's running quite grey, Jada.
Oh, God.
For a 21-year-old.
The old silver fox himself.
All right, well, I'm going to go 7 goals. I'll go conservative this week because I was the one that punted you all out of the park last week with 5 and we won by an extraordinary margin.
Well, to be fair, you've got about 50 points either side, haven't you?
All right, boys. I think it's time to wrap this little baby up.
All right.
Go!
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
You dickhead.